Did you know that in the 2010s, F1 fans witnessed over 200 Grand Prix races? But which ones stood out as the absolute best? Today, we're counting down the top 10 F1 races of the decade as voted by fans. Get ready for heart-stopping action, unexpected twists, and unforgettable moments. Number 10, Hungarian Grand Prix 2014. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the 2014 Hungarian Grand Prix. This race had everything a fan could want, and the real star of the show was Daniel Ricciardo. Remember, this was only his first season with Red Bull, and boy did he make it count. Ricciardo was like a man possessed, charging through the field with the kind of overtakes that make you jump out of your seat. He left it late, really late, but managed to snatch the win in style. It was only his second career victory, but it showed everyone that the smiling Aussie was a force to be reckoned with. What made this race so special was how it showcased Ricciardo's racecraft. He wasn't just fast, he was smart, picking his moments perfectly to make those crucial passes. Number 9, Bahrain Grand Prix 2014. Moving on to number 9, we've got the Bahrain Grand Prix from the same year. Now, 2014 was a big deal in F1. It was the start of the turbo hybrid era, and everyone was wondering how it would shake things up. By the third race of the season in Bahrain, one thing was clear: Mercedes was the team to beat. But what nobody expected was the absolute fireworks we'd see between teammates Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. This race gave us the now legendary duel in the desert. Hamilton and Rosberg went at it hammer and tongs, trading places lap after lap. It was wheel-to-wheel racing at its finest, with both drivers pushing to the absolute limit. In the end, Hamilton came out on top, but the real winners were the fans. This race set the tone for one of the most intense teammate rivalries in F1 history, and it was edge-of-your-seat stuff from start to finish. Number 8, Australian Grand Prix 2010. At number 8, we're heading down under for the 2010 Australian Grand Prix. This race was all about one man, Jenson Button. Fresh off his World Championship win with Braun GP, Button had made the move to McLaren. A lot of people were questioning whether he could cut it alongside Lewis Hamilton. Well, Button answered those critics in style. In typical Melbourne fashion, the weather was all over the place. But while others were losing their heads, Button kept his cool. He made the right call in tires at the right time, and it paid off big time. It wasn't just Button though, this race had it all. Crashes, strategy gambles, and plenty of overtaking. It was the perfect way to kick off a new decade of Formula 1. Number 7, German Grand Prix 2018. The 2018 German Grand Prix is coming in at number 7. If you ever want to show someone how unpredictable F1 can be, just show them this race. For most of the Grand Prix, it looked like it was going to be Ferrari's day. They had both cars up front with just 25 laps to go. Someone up there must have decided things were too boring because suddenly, the heavens opened. What followed was pure chaos. Drivers were sliding all over the place, pit crews were scrambling to get the right tires ready, and the championship fight was turned on its head. The biggest shock? Sebastian Vettel, leading his home race, slid off into the barriers. It was a mistake that would prove costly in the championship fight, and meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton, who had started 14th, somehow found himself in the lead. This race reminded us that in F1, it's never over until the checkered flag falls. Number 6, Azerbaijan Grand Prix 2017. Halfway through our list at number 6, we've got the 2017 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. If you thought Baku's debut in 2016 was exciting, this race took things to a whole new level. Right from the start, we knew we were in for a wild ride. Valtteri Bottas and Kimi Räikkönen tangled on the first lap, setting the tone for what was to come. The defining moment of the race came under the safety car. Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel, battling for the championship, came together in one of the most controversial moments of the season. Vettel, believing Hamilton had brake tested him, pulled alongside and swerved into the Mercedes. It was the kind of moment that had everyone talking for weeks after. But that wasn't all. The tight street circuit produced some of the closest racing we'd seen all year, and just when you thought it couldn't get any more dramatic, we got a stunning finish with Daniel Ricciardo taking an unlikely win. This race had everything: controversy, close racing, and unexpected results. It was F1 at its chaotic best. Number 5, European Grand Prix 2012. At number 5, we are heading to Valencia for the 2012 European Grand Prix. This race was all about one man, Fernando Alonso. If you ever doubted Alonso's ability to drag a car kicking and screaming to victory, this was the race that silenced those doubts. Alonso started 11th, which on a track like Valencia usually means you're in for a quiet Sunday afternoon, but Alonso had other ideas. He carved his way through the field with some of the most clinical overtaking you'll ever see. We also had Sebastian Vettel comfortably in the lead before his alternator decided to call it a day. It was the kind of mechanical failure that can make or break a championship. This race showed that sometimes in F1, magic can happen. Races like these remind us why we love this sport. Number 4, Brazilian Grand Prix 2012. Just missing out on the podium at number 4, we've got the 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix. If you wanted to script the perfect season finale, you couldn't have done better than this. The championship was on the line with Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso both in contention. Right from the start, things went wild. Vettel spun on the first lap, dropping to dead last. For a moment, it looked like Alonso might snatch the title, but Vettel wasn't done. He fought his way back through the field in a drive that will go down in F1 history. This race wasn't just about the title fight, it was Michael Schumacher's final race in F1. Kimi Räikkönen got lost and tried to use an old track layout. Nico Hülkenberg was in the lead, tantalizingly close to a maiden win before colliding with Lewis Hamilton. And even after the checkered flag fell, the drama wasn't over. There was a post-race controversy that could have handed the title to Alonso. Number 3, Brazilian Grand Prix 2019. Taking the bronze medal at number 3, we've got another race from the Interlagos, the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix. On paper, the race shouldn't have been anything special. The championships were already decided, but nobody told the drivers that. What we got was a race in which every single position was fought tooth and nail. The standout story was Pierre Gasly's incredible podium for Toro Rosso. Remember, this was the guy who had been demoted from Red Bull earlier in the season. To see him fighting with Lewis Hamilton for second place in the final lap was the kind of thing you couldn't script. But that wasn't all. We had the Ferrari teammates taking each other out in spectacular fashion. We had Alex Albon so close to his first podium before Hamilton tagged him. And let's not forget Carlos Sainz, who started dead last and somehow finished on the podium. Number 2, Canadian Grand Prix 2011. Just missing out on the top spot, we've got the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix at number 2. This race is the perfect example of why F1 is so exciting. It was the longest F1 race in history, clocking in at over 4 hours due to a red flag. But the real star was Jenson Button. His race was like a Hollywood script. Crashes, clashes, a puncture, and a penalty. At one point, he was dead last, yet somehow, Button fought back through the field. On the very last lap, he passed Sebastian Vettel to take an unlikely win. It was an unbelievable comeback. This race had it all. Changing weather, multiple safety cars, plenty of incidents, and a last lap pass for the win. Number 1, German Grand Prix 2019. And now we have reached number 1, the 2019 German Grand Prix, voted as the decade's best race. This was chaos from start to finish. The constantly changing weather was the star, keeping everyone on edge. Drivers were spinning off everywhere. Even Lewis Hamilton had one of his worst F1 days, finishing out of the points. But while others struggled, Max Verstappen shone, driving like it was a Sunday cruise. His performance cemented his reputation as a wet-weather master. The race's unpredictability made it special. No one was safe, regardless of their lead. It wasn't just a race, but a spectacle of drama, excitement, and unexpected turns. So, what do you think of this list? Do you agree with the fans' choices? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more F1 content. Until next time, keep those engines revving.